The man cried out uncontrollably, because he had been bitten by a zombie, which meant he was soon going to become one himself. He wanted to end his life with his own hands, but when he looked at his daughter, who was less than a year old, he couldn't bring himself to do it. How could he give up when she was so young? If he gave up, how would she survive? So he put on the timer bracelet, and decided to use his remaining time to take her to a safe place. But after walking for a while, his daughter suddenly started crying. Carl knew she was missing her mom. He pulled out his late wife's perfume and sprayed some, and the familiar scent calmed his daughter. They kept walking until evening, finally finding an abandoned rescue station. There, they met a nurse who kindly helped Carl treat his wound. Seeing how attentive she was, Carl thought about leaving his daughter with her. But when he saw the nurse remove her wig and reveal a scar on her head, he realized she was also suffering from a terminal illness. Reluctantly, he gave up on the idea. As he was turning into a zombie, he feared he might harm his daughter one day. Looking at his sweet little girl, he decided to find her a guardian. The next day, they set off again. Along the way, they came across an abandoned truck. Carl didn't notice the zombies behind him, but luckily, a stranger showed up and shot the zombies, saving them. The man took them to his home, and Carl thought he had found a good person. He planned to entrust his daughter to him, but at night, the man locked Carl in a cage. Inside the cage was a girl. The girl told Carl that the man used living people to attract zombies, then scavenged their belongings. With zombies closing in, Carl suddenly got an idea. He tied some rotten meat to a rope and threw it out, and the zombies started fighting over the meat. The cage was dragged by the zombies, giving Carl the chance to escape with the girl. On their way, they came across a camper. The owner of the camper, seeing survivors, offered to give Carl the camper. However, the man and his family were all infected, and to avoid hurting others, they planned to end their lives with a gun. Carl, realizing he couldn't trust them, left in disappointment. Just then, a gunshot rang out. The family was gone forever. In this zombie-infested world, who would take their child to die if there were any other choice? Carl felt a wave of despair and thought of ending his and his daughter's lives too. He picked up the gun, but just then, his daughter suddenly called out. It was the first time she had called him, and that one word brought Carl back to life. He decided that no matter how hard it got, he would get his daughter to safety. But as time passed, his right leg began to stiffen. Helpless, he could only lean on a stick, supporting the girl as they continued their difficult journey. Carl fought the urge to drink blood, but he couldn't hold back. He unstrapped his shoulder strap, gently laid his daughter down, and then knelt in front of her, pleading with her to take his daughter to a safe place. With great reluctance, he kissed her goodbye, and then, helplessly, he ran toward the rotten meat. But when he glanced back at the stick in the girl's hands, he suddenly thought of a plan. He tied the rotten meat to the stick, then stuffed a piece of broken glass into his mouth. Finally, he tied his hands together tightly, so even if he lost control, he wouldn't harm his daughter. Using the rotten meat as bait, he carried his daughter, step by step, forward. This was the last thing he could do for his daughter. After a long time, they finally saw a group of people. When they saw the scene, everyone was stunned. They were deeply moved by the father's determination, and decided to take in both girls.